Hi, I'm Twana Dames, and I'm here with Omari Sanders. Omari is a managing partner with Sand Venture and the Chief Technology Officer of Uncord Technologies. Today, we're discussing Uncord's flagship product, Go Feed Me. Go Feed Me was developed for food trucks to increase their revenue, eliminate wait times, and retain customers. Welcome, Omari. How are you, and how is your family staying safe in these strange and difficult times we're in?
We're great. We're just adapting to the new reality, definitely practicing social distancing and washing our hands probably more than we ever thought we would in a day. But, really just trying to stay healthy, stay focused, and keeping I'd say a positive attitude towards everything that's coming towards us during this pandemic.
I understand that you studied economics in college. How did you transition to software development?
Software development, and I would say more in the sense of IT has kind of been part of me since 1984. So my father brought a IBM XT computer, which is a very old computer by today's standards. He brought that home, and I definitely say it changed my life. And I've been in computers ever since. So, growing up, you would say, late 80s, bulletin board systems, I was definitely involved in tinkering with those type of things. I ended up in high school taking an economics class, and that changed my perspective with understanding business and capitalism. So I decided I wanted to get a degree in economics. At the same time, I was still in computers. I was still taking computer science classes in high school, went to college, got a degree in economics, came out during the dot-com bubble, which is now we consider a bubble, but at that time it was this time of opulence. People were driving around in Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and it felt like money was just flowing out of the heavens. And I was working for an association, and I was the youngest person there. And so they were like, hey, we need somebody to take over the website because the other person had left for another job. And so I was the youngest person, and they just threw me into it. So that was kind of the way I kind of fell back into IT in a professional realm. .com falls out. I was doing a lot of web mastering type work. And I decided that if I want to stay in this business, I need to get a little bit deeper into it. So that's where I kind of really got deeper into software development. And so that's where I've been ever since.
What is Go Feed Me, and how did the business come about?
Sure. My business partner, Brian McNeil-Walker, and we started a company called Uncord Technologies a couple years ago. And our goal was to really work with small businesses, in particular restaurants, and helping them get the orders to their kitchen. We were shocked to find that some restaurants were still using fax machines. And we felt as though that we could eliminate that bottleneck by providing SIM card-based technology. And these SIM cards are basically the chip that's in your phone. So we provide printers with that technology, and we put those in the kitchens, and we direct the orders directly to it through our platform. So Go Feed Me really came out of that. We've had some success with that with our restaurants. And so what we've determined is that we could provide that solution for the niche market of food trucks. And so we kind of studied the market, and we were able to determine that we could build a full suite solution to tackle some of the pain points that food truck operators have.
You've been in the business for a while, and I'm sure you've experienced economic downturns in the past. How did you manage to survive?
Really, I'd say the two biggest things is one big thing is understanding your customer. A lot of the work that I've done with my different businesses is really what they consider back end work. It's not sexy. The type of work we do is not always consumer focused or consumer based. It's really the nuts and bolts of a company. We're behind the scenes. We're helping a company become more efficient, helping with their processes, building technology to meet those needs. And one of the mottos I have is that if we can help a company stay in business, it helps us stay in business. So if you help them through the tough economic times, the ebbs and the flows, what you'll realize is that you'll come along for the ride.
From an economist perspective, give us a description of the business landscape in our country right now.
It is definitely challenging for a lot of businesses. I mean, as we see, certain industries are, they're taking a hit. But in the same respect, certain industries, and for example, video conferencing, um, you know, um, distribution of TV across the internet, like Netflix. These things are taking off. We were already using these products, but now we're kind of dependent upon them. So, the thing about capitalism is that there is winners and losers in all aspects. So certain businesses, if they're built to, let's say, capitalize on the current situation, they'll rise to the top, while others, unfortunately, will have a harder time adapting as well as surviving. So that's the unfortunate part of the current situation.
Well, getting back to Go Feed Me, tell us why is this product so important right now?
You know, a lot of our, you know, our norms are now different. You're starting to hear the word like, the new norm or the new normal. Um, One of the things that we're facing is that, for example, businesses that are mobile are able to take advantage of this new reality. So for Go Feed Me, it fits that narrative. A lot of these food trucks, they have the ability to go and meet their customer. They're not dependent upon their customer coming to them. And that in our current situation of lockdowns and shutdowns, that's becoming more prevalent. So for a food truck, this is the prime opportunity, being a mobile-based business, to basically go to where the customer is at instead of the customer coming to them.
So, if I'm a food truck owner and I'm feeling like maybe I should give up or there's no hope for continuing my business, what advice do you have for me?
I would definitely say don't give up. You have a competitive advantage. Just by being mobile and being able to move, gives you that ability to kind of, like I said earlier, go to where the customer is. I firmly believe that we're going to come into a time in the not too distant future where customers will expect business to come to them instead of us going to where the business is located. Um, we have to come to grips with that new reality, and certain businesses will be able to take advantage of that. And I definitely feel as though food trucks will be at the forefront of that.
Go Feed Me has an online resource center. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. We launched a resource center called SaveTheFoodTrucks.com. And what we've done is we've kind of curated a bunch of information to kind of help these businesses survive and thrive. Right now, a lot of businesses are in a survival mode. And, we want to be able to help them with resources, access to some of the government programs, some programs that we've actually ourselves internally as a startup, we've kind of come up with to kind of help these food trucks survive as well as thrive on the other side of this. So it's I definitely say it's kind of like a project that we've kind of taken on to kind of help the food truck industry. One of the things we've noticed is that it's a culture. Food trucks, they're part of a close-knit community. I've spent quite a few days on food trucks, actually talking to food truck owners, getting to know them. And one of the things you realize, it's kind of like a brotherhood. It's a close knit community, and we kind of want to do our part to kind of help them through this difficult moment, as well as help them on the other side, so that that we all can win.
That is excellent. What does the future look like for Go Feed Me?
Sure, the future, I believe, is great. Even in the midst of the storm, I definitely see the opportunity. Uh, we've built a product that we've kind of tested, like I said, for the last 18 months with food trucks, talking to them, getting their feedback, tweaking it, working with them to kind of answer the mail for their needs. I feel as though that the opportunity is really large, in the sense that a lot of brick and mortar businesses or brick and mortar restaurants will be looking at the food truck industry as a new opportunity. And I feel as though food trucks that are already in business will be able to grow and increase their customer size. And I definitely feel as though our product will be able to help them achieve that.
What advice do you have for small businesses in general right now who are just trying to survive?
The biggest advice I have is, two things is make sure that your relationship with your customer or your customer base is secure. Um, you know, they're going through pain and you're feeling it too, but communicating directly with them, keeping them abreast of the changes in your own business as well as how you can help. Um, the other thing I would definitely say is burn rate. Look at your burn rate as a company, see what services that you're paying for, evaluate them on a daily, if not weekly basis to determine if you really need them. And then just really look at the return of investment on those services and see, are they helping your bottom line?
How can food trucks sign up for Go Feed Me?
Sure. The quickest way is simply go to growmyfoodtruck.com. Go to the site and you'll see a button that says get in touch with a rep, fill out the form, and that starts the process.
Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
Omari.
you.
I'm Twana James, and we'll see you guys again soon. How can food trucks sign up for Go Feed Me?
Sure. The simplest and quickest way is just simply go to growmyfoodtruck.com. You go on the site, you'll see a button that says, what does the button say? Touch. I was doing so great.
I saw this big X right here.
I know.
Oh, this should be easy.
Bear with me one moment.